Okay, well, welcome to the part two. Now, with the quick overview and setting up the software in the loop simulation, the next thing we need to do is to pre set up our aircraft. And basically, how is our aircraft set up? We went to the simulation panel, we selected a quad plane, we selected a vehicle, and now we could see that our vehicle is selected. So we have the vehicle model, and then we have our TCP connection with the baud rate. Statistically, if you come here or if you click on the statistics button, you get to see the transmission rate in terms of how much packet is transmitted and how much packet is lost. So currently we have no packet loss, so our link quality is at 100%. And when you come here, you see it's showing link quality at 100%. Right. Now, we assuming that the aircraft is already configured, so we don't need to go to the setup menu to run through these entire setups. But for now, this is just a quick introduction before we will come into all of this. Right. First, we'll focus on how to plan missions, and then we will come back to all of these setups. Okay. Right. So the first thing first, if we want to plan our mission, what we need to do first is to first set up our takeoff mode. And in quad plane or in hybrid systems, it is not just a normal takeoff, but we take off to a certain height and then we transition. So that's what I do now is that I set up my takeoff point, but you can do that also by first making sure you put your home point exactly on your aircraft, so which is an indication that wherever the aircraft goes, you want the aircraft to track back to your home point. And this is the Kaduna airspace call sign, so you can see that as well. So I right click, you right click the mouse. Now you go to takeoff. So my takeoff altitude, I'm going to put it at 40 meters. Now, because I'm taking off vertically, I'm going to put it at 0 because I'm not pitching at a certain angle, right? Now, my takeoff now here, I have a pitch angle of 0 degrees and I have a pitch altitude of 40 meters. Up here, you have your waypoint radius, your loiter radius, you have your default height, and then you have your various flight heights. So you have your relative height, absolute height, terrain height. We will keep it at relative height, so we want to reference it to ground. Right. So the next thing is to enable the right mode to take the vehicle in quad mode and then transition the vehicle. So I come here and I change it to VTOL takeoff. So now my takeoff is pretty set well. Okay. So I'm assuming that when my aircraft takes off, I want to go this direction and then transition. So this is my first waypoint. Now, between this point and this point, you can see that. Let me just go to the other side so that you can see. So the distance between these two is about 388, or say 3,880, right? So that is the distance here. Okay. And then, okay, quick one. Let me just change my measuring or my scale back to meters to make things a little bit easy for me, so that but you can always work in your own measurement unit so that you are comfortable with. So here this is 90 meters, this is 60 meter radius, this is a default height of 100 meters, right? So that's my first waypoint. Mostly these parameters, the transition distance is given by the manufacturer, so always reference the manufacturer's document. What is the transition distance after takeoff, and also what is the altitude? You can climb gradually or you can climb also. So here I go to the next waypoint, maintaining the same 100 meters. I come here maintaining the same 100 meters. I come here maintaining the same 100 meters, right? Now, assuming this is where I want to come and land the vehicle, so I can drop in steps, kind of an approach landing. So I do 40 meters to a transition from 100 to 40, and then my last waypoint, which will be this one, I drop it here, and then I change it to 0, and then I change my landing to return to launch, which will work, or I can do VTOL land, which will also work. So let me just leave it at VTOL land. So you watch the difference here, right? Now, I can check the profile of the mission that I have planned against the terrain. So here you can see that this is my flight plan, and this is the terrain. Always make sure that the flight plan is always above the terrain, because if the terrain is above the flight plan, that creates a lot of problems. Okay, so that is an interesting side note that we have to all keep, right? So now with this mission planned, looking at it, looks very okay. I can now write this mission onto the aircraft. Now, once you write the mission onto the aircraft, the mission now gets populated on the data panel. So I'm going to write it here. So when I come back to the data side, the mission now shows here. Okay. Now, the next thing we need to do is to put the aircraft in the right mode.